Oh, I've got my camera the wrong way around, haven't I? That's funny.
Do you know you're upside down?
Yes, I've just realised that. Just realised I was upside down. Oh dear.
That's quite a bit behind them.
Oh, it's miles behind. It's a lot further behind than on Facebook. I'm trying to work out how I do. How would I now do a link? I think
well, there's a share button and it will have the option.
Where's the share button?
Share,
Oh yeah.
then copy link.
Sorry if anybody's here. Oh, hold on. That did a dot after, didn't it? So I'm just trying to do a link over onto
And if you press
Facebook.
the live chat again button, the
Live chat
will come back up.
Right. So it says there's 3 people watching. There's 3.
One of those is me.
And one of those is probably me. So there's one.
Okay, your comment.
Oh. Do I have to keep pressing that every time though?
I don't know.
All right, I want to get rid of this over here now.
Just drag it off.
Drag it off like that. Oh yeah. Gosh, it's all very
I'll turn my Wi-Fi off for you.
Thank you.
You'll have probably lost it.
I did actually start a couple of minutes early just so I could see how this all worked. So hello if there are people there. But I know that not everybody will probably be able to chat because I think you have to be signed in, do you, if you
I imagine so.
chat? So I'm hoping that this is all going to work okay. I'm used to doing lives on Facebook. This is the first time I've gone live on YouTube. So I'm not going to worry about if there's loads and loads of people watching because I know that a lot of people will watch back on YouTube. But obviously, if you want to chat live, then you need to be live. I don't think afterwards I can access the live chat. I think that goes once the live's over. So if there's a comment that you wanted to make, like a question that you want me to see afterwards and you can't do it in the chat, then I think you need to do the actual comments, which I think you can still get to. But if you are there and you're able to chat, do say hi so I know who you are and who's there. So hello everybody, I'm Jane and this is my YouTube channel, funnily enough. And my YouTube channel is all about art journaling. And I did ask, when I reached 1,000 subscribers, I did ask, hi Mel, someone I know. It's really strange doing it on here. That when I reached 1,000 subscribers, I would like to start doing some YouTube lives. The reason being is because although I do lives on Facebook, my lives on Facebook are related to the companies which I'm sort of linked to. Night, either through design team work or through because I design stamps for them. So I thought it would be nice to do some lives on YouTube where I'm not sort of tied to any particular company, that I can use all my different products and it doesn't matter what I use, and because it's my channel, so I can do what I like. And that also means that if you've got certain products that you want to see that I've got, that then you can say, you can ask me, like, have you got like certain sprays or whatever that you want to see used. So the reason I'm starting with water soluble crayons is because my last video I did on my channel, I used the Neocolor 2, and I'm going to just show them here. These are the I never say all these companies' names. Crayon Dash, I think they're called. Now they're quite expensive, and I am fortunate or unfortunate, whichever way you look at it, that we have got an art shop on the island that has is closing down. They've been trying to sell it for a long time, but they've now actually sold the shop, but they couldn't sell it as an art shop, so they're selling their stock, and everything is half price. So I managed to get a set of Caran d'Ache pencils, and I also then went back and decided that I'd like to get the Neocolor too. So they were half the usual. I think they were normally about £50, so I got them for 25. So I mean, a massive, difference. But my little play with them that I did on here, I have to say, I think I'm going to absolutely love them. And I know when I've been reading about them online, that a lot of art journalists use them. A lot of people really do rate them as very, very good crayons. And they're a water soluble crayon, but they are a wax. I think it says they are water soluble color wax pastels. But it made me sort of think about all the other similar products that I've got, because I am, like many crafters, a hoarder or a magpie when it comes to color mediums. So these pages here that I did in this journal are with, I think, either Gelatos or distress crayons. Now I have quite a selection of both. To be fair, I don't have a massive selection of distress crayons. I bought the first few sets and I sort of stopped at that point because I already had a lot of Gelatos, which are by Faber-Castell. I was trying to look up exactly what these are, and they have a much creamier sort of feel than the Neocolors, and also the Scribble Sticks, which I also have. So these are quite hard when you sort of use them, more like a pencil sort of texture, I would say, whereas these are more of a creamier sort of texture. So what I thought I'd do to start with is just to take one of each before I actually get on and do some art journaling on these pages, which I have set up already, is take one of each of the different, whoa, that's all going to fall, all the different sorts of crayon-y type products and do a little swatch test just to see how they are. Now, I have used them before, but to be totally honest, I don't use them as much as I should, considering, that it's money that I've spent, but I like to have them anyway, because they are, every now and again, I will sort of think, oh, I'll get them out and have another go with those. But so I've done a little tag, and what I've done is I've painted half with white gesso. So I use the Pretty Gets Gritty white gesso. It is the one I do turn to, and that I am on their design team, so I'll put that out as a disclaimer, but I do love their products. So I've done half of it with the white gesso and then half of it, and I can honestly say I do not know what this cardstock is, because I cut these tags quite a while ago and I got them all out because I thought they'd be handy. Mel, I love the Gelatos. I've not used my distress crayons yet. Yeah, see, I know a lot of people, I mean, there are a lot of videos on YouTube and online comparing, in particular, I think, these two. Hi, Gail. I might do some circles just for you. So I sort of feel that these two are sort of more like each other, and these two are more like each other. But I think with the Gelatos and the distress crayons, it's sort of a case of, do you like the Tim Holtz whole colour sort of family thing? Because they obviously they match with all his other products. So if you're really into all the distress range, these might be the thing that you go for. Although I have watched videos, particularly by Tim Holtz, where he explains why they are totally different to Gelatos, but then they would, wouldn't they? So these ones are the Faber-Castell ones. These have been around quite a long time. I was looking it up, and they said they're basically a water-soluble pigment. I think both of these are water-soluble pigment. So that I'm presuming that means there isn't, then they look like a crayon, but they're not got wax or oil in them, from what I can gather. So I thought I'd just start by doing a line of each. The main difference I see straight away is you get a much sort of smaller nib on that one to the Gelatos. You get more of a more like a lipstick. Oh, I can just see my cat just walking down to come in. And he's not going to be able to because nobody's here to let him in now. So this is Spiced Marmalade. I don't know what this colour's called. It's probably on here. My eyes are so... Oh, no, it's on the top. Oh, my goodness. Mango. So I was going to start by seeing how well they blend with my finger. So this is on the non-gessoed. So this is the Distress Crayon. So I'm not putting any water on my finger. I'm just seeing how they smoosh out just this. And this is the gesso. So with the Distress Crayon, straight away on the gesso, they smoosh out with your finger a lot better. I'll use a different finger for this one. So this is the Gelatos. These smoosh out much better. It's a nicer word, isn't it? Smoosh. They smoosh out better. And then on the gessoed side, that blends out really, really blends out. That would probably be a better term, isn't it? So if I take that bit off there, you can see how easily they blend out. So of those two, just by using my hands, hi Susan, I would say the Gelatos are a lot easier to blend out. So if that's, you know, the main way you would want to use them, you know, and I'm not going to tell anybody, you know, which is the one you should have. I mean, I've got them all, so it just depends on what you want to use them for. Now, this is the Dina Wakley Scribble Stick. Now, when I've seen her using these, she's always said that she designed these because she wanted something that would go over acrylic paint. She wanted something hard. So I'm never quite sure. I find that a lot of these products, when you try to look up what they actually are, it's quite tricky. Apart from the Neocolors, where it does actually tell you is a wax-based, like oil pastel, basically, almost. So, and this is the Neocolor. I should say this is the Neocolor 2. There are also Neocolor 1s, which are not water reactive. So if you want the ones that water out, it's the Neocolor 2s that you want. The first ones are just like, oh, the cat's walked away, so I can't see him out the window. He just walked away, he got fed up waiting. So this is the Scribble Stick. Now, I know from what she said that these should not. And this is because these were not designed to smoosh out with your finger. Now, I don't know about these ones because I haven't tried it. Ooh. So the Neocolors, although they are quite hard like the Scribble Sticks, they actually do blend out. Not as much as these ones, but I wouldn't really probably have expected that because they are like a harder sort of crayon. So, you know, that gives you an immediate difference between them. And obviously they're all slightly different colours, different sort of effects you can get. I should have had something to wipe my hand with, shouldn't I? They definitely move a lot better, don't they, Mel, though, the Gelatos. So, I mean, it depends what you want from them. I was also trying to look up before I came on whether they're permanent or not. So the Neocolors 2, it's because they're wax-based, they're never properly permanent, but they're very, very good for light fastness. The Scribble Sticks, I know that Dina Wakley said they're sort of semi-permanent. The Gelatos, it said when you water them out properly, so there's no pigment sort of left that's not been watered out, and you let them dry, they should be permanent. And I'm pretty sure the Distress Crayons probably are not, because I know that Tim Holtz doesn't tend to like his products being permanent. So let's try them with water. So we'll do the same again. I will get on to actually doing some art journaling, I promise. But I know that these products are something that a lot of people have, myself included, and you know, it's sometimes just, or you see them used and you want to know what is, you know, why there's so many different products that look quite similar. Now let's get some water. So this is the Distress Crayons. So these move a lot better with the water. And then on the gessoed, even better. It almost to the point of, to be fair, disappearing. So you can get a really sort of fine wash with those ones when you add water. So I'd say they were much better once you add water to them, rather than doing it with your finger. So Gelatos, Yeah, again, much better once you add a bit of water to them. And then onto the gesso. They all seem to work a lot better onto gesso, to be quite honest. It's giving that sort of more slicker, slippery surface. So if you want them to blend out better, then you're better off with a gessoed surface. Let's have a look with the Scribble Sticks. So non-gesso. Now I can guess that these will probably work better on gesso because I know that Dina Wakely always loves gesso on her pages. So yeah, so when you use it without the gesso, they blend out, but you still get a bit of a line. But with the gessoed side, you know, that's totally blending out. Oh, my brush is falling apart. And then the Neocolors. So on the non-gesso, they're doing a bit the same as Scribble Sticks. Although when you go over it a bit more, oh, I can see that's on the gessoed side, really easy to blend out. So with water on gesso, I'd say they're all sort of much of a muchness, really. So it's really a case of whether you want to be blending them with your fingers. If you do want to blend them with your fingers, the Gelatos are probably the best out of all of those, I would have said. So let's go with something on the page. So because I want to do some blending out, thinking either to use the Gelatos or the Neocolors. I think we'll use the Gelatos because I haven't used it, although my page isn't gessoed. Oh no, I might have to quickly spread a bit of gesso on my page. Right, so I have pre-prepared some stenciling, I have to admit. Now the stencil I have used is, I don't know, is that going to glare off there? Is the Finnabair stencil Dandelions. It isn't from my most recent ones. It's probably a couple of years old, and I've just done a bit of the Pretty Gets Gritty white texture paste through, and I did this about probably 4 hours ago, so it should hopefully be really nice and dry. But I am going to, I think, just quickly get my lid off. All right, I'm going to have to bang it, sorry. Do you know what? I had the lid off this not that long ago, and now I've already managed to re-stick it. Oh, there we go. Right, so let's give a quick bit of gesso because I think it will help it to blend a bit better. So I'm not going to do like a really thick coat. Okay, have a lovely rest of the evening, and night night, Lydia. So let's give it a bit of a gesso coat, a thin coat. In fact, what I might do is just leave it a bit patchy. Got bits coming off there. So maybe some bits have got the gesso on and some bits haven't. So that we get different effects from the crayons. And I'm not sure what colours to go with. I feel like the last time I used my Neocolors, it was the warms. So maybe we'll go with the greens and blues for a background for a change. Not for a change. I use greens and blues all the time. Peacock feathers and twisted citron are my favourite distress colours. Has anybody got a preference to what colours we have in the background? To see what colours got. I think I've got just about all the colours, you know, a variety of different colours anyway. Definitely my Gelatos. I might have to give this a blast from the Heat Tool of Doom, I should say. No, I feel like I want to put a bit more up there now. See, I say I'm going to just do a light coat and do it patchy, and then I'll end up just covering the whole lot because I just can't resist having it primed. So let's get that lid back on. and let's give it a blast. Now I'm presuming if I was to get too much heat on these, they would melt because they're wax based. So I will try and keep away from that. I mean, I could, even if if I wanted to make more of a pastel, I could leave the white gesso a bit wet and blend the colours in with the white gesso. Give that a try. Because I'm going to be adding a bit of water, I don't want it to be too wet, the gesso. I want it to be reasonably dry. Blue and yellow. Okay, blue and yellow it is. That will make some green, won't it? Let's go blue and yellow. Let's go gelatos. So let's go. Should we do bright yellow? So what's this one? It's probably canary or something. No, lemon. And we'll go with this blue, which is cotton candy. Okay. See, when I think of cotton candy, I think of pink. You know. Right, so let's just get some colour. Oh, that was already up. Some colour down. Now, these ones are good as well, actually, the gelatos, if you are wanting to cover bigger areas, because you've got that because you've got that bigger sort of space on the end, you do actually get to cover a lot of area quickly. So let's just get some colour down. So I'm not worried because I know it should blend quite nicely on, you know, because we've got that gesso down. Hopefully that will. When you're going over that texture paste, but it's like being a bit of a cheese grater on it, I have to say. So the other thing you can do with your gelatos is, because they are so nice and creamy, I've probably put way too much pigment down there, actually thinking about it. You can like chop a bit off and mix it in with your texture paste and things like that. Now, my white gesso brush, and my lovely white water now. Oh, I should have had more than one. I've got more water over here. Let's go with some of that. I'll go with some of that water over there. Right, so let's. Whoa, that is. I'm going to try to. I think I didn't need to put quite as much pigment down as I did. I'm going to try to keep some of the blue and yellow separate. So if I go with the yellow first, and then clean my brush off. Now that just shows you how much pigment though that there is in these sticks. I've probably gone way over the top with how much I've put down. So let's clean that brush, and then let's do get a bit of blue going, and then obviously we're going to get a bit. Oh, see, I think it's all just going to mix into a bit of a green now, isn't it? So perhaps should have dried one layer and then done the other, shouldn't I? Really? So I could maybe get some more blue in there in a minute. I'm not sure. I dry it and then try put some blue over the top. And the more water you add, then it really does water it out. So if you want a sort of a more concentrated colour, it's best to not add quite so much water. I think if I Go all over that. Now, these bits, I think this is where I haven't put the gesso, and that's why that's giving that more of a sort of, you know, it's not blending out so much. So if I blast that and then add a bit more blue into it, I wonder if that will help. So it's really watered. Now, in theory, according to Faber-Castell, if you then dry this, and I've made all the pigment water out, it should be permanent, but we'll soon see when we put some blue over the top. They'll probably say it has to be thoroughly dry, and I probably haven't thoroughly dried it. Now, obviously, you get told to leave your colour, with anything with pigments in, to dry naturally so you don't fade the colours, but to be honest, I'm always in a rush and I'm always impatient, so I always keep set everything. It's going in my journal, I'm not worrying too much about it. It's, you know, it's not going on a wall, is what I mean. It's not, well, some of my stuff goes on the wall. I'm not selling it and I'm not putting it in an art gallery, so I'm not worried if it's, you know, not going to be as bright as it should be. Let's see then, if we put a little bit more blue back in there, see if that will now take the blue a bit better. Put a bit more there, because that sort of really faded out, didn't it? As you can see, I'm not being very precise in this. Let's maybe should a bit less water. Where's the cloth? Right, take a bit of the water off, because I think I'm putting way too much water on. It might be that different colours as well perhaps have different levels of pigment in them. I don't know. Let's do a bit in this bit down here. That has gone over it and become a bit more blue, certainly. Let's put a bit more then over, oops, not the lid. Put a bit more over here and a bit more down there, so it's a bit more blue. And again, we won't add too much more water. I think that's the trick with the blue, is not too much water. I think it was watering out too easily. Sort of caught in them bits there. Yeah, that would do. I think that's okay. What I'm thinking is whether I could use, if I took a bit of the pigment onto my finger, would it act like a bit of a gilding? You know, like a gilding wax, but I'm not sure. Oh, a little bit. Let's try some of that. So you can sort of, because it is quite creamy in consistency, you can take a little bit off. I'm not sure if that was particularly the best colour. Maybe I'll try, oh, I think I've got a gold one actually. Let's try a bit of gold. Let's see if I've got gold. What's this one? Can't read that. That looks like it could be gold. That's a gold one. Let's try a bit of the gold and see if you can use them more as a sort of a wax over the top. It's not really dark. Perhaps would need a darker colour. I do find that they're sometimes a bit tricky to get back down into, like I put them up, but I can't always get them to go right back down. Let's try with a bit of dark blue. Doesn't really work, does it? Oh, no, does to an extent. Maybe if I'm doing it over the yellow. Oh, there we go. You do it over the lighter colour, then yeah, that picks up the texture. So we'll do a bit of that just to lift that texture up a bit because they're really nice, cute. I do like that stencil. Let's do that. So yeah, you can use them as a bit of a gilding wax type effect as well. Oops, that was, I probably hadn't left that to dry long enough. There we go. So I don't know how many questions to ask because I don't know how many people watching can comment or want to comment and how many can't. So I don't ask you too many questions. Normally on my Facebook lives I'll ask questions. But it's getting used to a new place of lives. So if you do have anything you want, you know, me to do particularly with art journaling, any certain techniques you want me to try out, I'm you know, willing to have a go in a live and see, you know, what you'd like me to do. Right, let's pop those up there. So there we go. That's quite nice. Now I know that with things like the Scribble Sticks, because they are a much harder surface, you can use them on stamps and things. So we will go for a circle. I've got these Rubber Dance stamps, grungy stuff. I do love these ones. You can tell I well use these ones. So I've got these circles. I want something quite bold. That's the word, isn't it? Because of putting the Scribble Stick on. Now we're going for this sort of yellow and blue theme with a bit of green. Let's go for a dark blue. Let's go for, what's this one? I want to say it's lapis. It is lapis. It's sort of a very purpley blue, but you can use them if you wet them usually, I think it is. I've done this in the past, just to show you, I don't use them that often. So if I can dip my Scribble Stick in there and go directly onto my stamp. I'm sure you can probably do this with the other ones. It's just I've only really do it with these ones because they're quite sturdy sticks. But I am actually going to test it first because that looks like quite a lot of water on there. So let's test it on here first. I won't bother putting it on a block. Yeah, see, that was a bit too wet, I think. So let's go back now that I've got rid of some of that water. Oh, the cat is meowing outside. I may have to go and let him in because I'm the only person here who can. Oh, that squidged. I heard that. Again, a bit wet. Let's give that a... I may have to... Oh, that one was better. I'm just going to quickly let my cat in. I'm sorry. Because he is... Okay. He won't be happy because he's not got much food in his bowl and he's going to come in and go, you've not given me any food. So the cat is now safely in. Right, let's wet that a little bit more again. And I think as you get more imprints off of it, you probably get a better sort of a bit more water on that again. I think it was running out of water. And let's go over here. Oh, that was a better one. Well, sort of better in that it's dark, but you can't always see it. These have got like a writing on them, but I don't think you can overly see that, but you're not going to get a sort of perfect impression from using the Scribble Sticks. Let's do that straight off again and see. And another one. Maybe that was the answer, to keep actually doing it straight away like that. I'm going to give that a little wipe. And let's go with the... So I've got this... Oh, I think it was should we go with the star? Star or circles? Oh, let's go with the circles. Right, let's stick it to a block this time, see if it makes any difference. I don't think it will. Right, I'm wondering whether if I spritz it, let's see. If I spritz the stamp, let's go with a different colour. What should we go for? So we go with a dark green. So what was this one? Evergreen. Let's go with that one. Whether if you spritz it and then just do it that way, whether that will make a difference. I have seen Dina Wakely do this and I cannot remember how she does it. That certainly has got quite a lot of colour on it. You can tell I'm not impressed, can't you? Not impressed with what I'm doing there. Right, took a bit of that water off. Let's see. Let's do it with a little bit of water. Oh, that I've gone too much water again. The thing is, if I do things and it looks rubbish, then you can go, oh, I won't do that. That's all right. Save you time. Oh, that's come out a bit better. Let's do that side. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Not convinced. Let's go at these. I think it's a case of sort of working out your water to Scribble Stick ratio. And probably eventually it would look all right. Let's go there. Some of them look better than others, but you can sort of see. I think as it dries, sometimes with these things, they look quite blotchy when they first go down, and as they dry, they actually look better. So let's wipe that off. And then I think we can use maybe the Neocolors to do some colouring of some focal points. So let's give this a quick blast again. I apologise for the drying. I might give that a dab. Oh, that one actually dried with that. So actually it does dry with that darker colour. Right, let's have a drop to that. Right, let's put that to one side, and we'll do some birds to go on it. So I have got, again, it's another rubber dance stamp set, and we need some card. What was that? That's not very good. Ideally, I want like a watercolour. Oh, that's watercolour card, because I want to use the Neocolors sort of as a colouring in medium, because the Neocolors are sort of got a much more of a proper crayon sort of look. You can get in a bit more with these ones. So let's get those. So I've got a set of 30, so you get quite a nice colour selection with these. Let's put that one in there. So we've got the textured birds. Let's just stamp out a couple that go maybe different ways. So that's quite a nice one. Let's go with that one. And because I'm going to use my water-based, water reactive products, we'll go with Archival. We'll go with black because it's easiest to see, isn't it? So let's move 2 of them out of the way. I don't want all of them. So red rubber stamps from Rubber Dance. I think, I'm trying to remember, I don't think they came on mountain foam, these ones. I think I mounted them. I think they just came as red rubber from what I can remember. But she may very well do them with the foam. Yeah, the way that that's cut, I cut that. Yeah. If it's got really raggedy edges, you know that I stuck that on the foam and cut it out. So there we go. Oh, he's lovely. I say he, could be a she. He or she is lovely. Let's have that one. Let's go with that one next to. Is it? Oh, I don't think that one is. I think it's that one. Let's go with this one. We'll do a few. And they're quite simple ones to cut out, so they won't take too long. We'll just start with the 2, and if we need another one, we'll do another one. So let's pop that one back on there, put it back down there, and we'll do speed cutting. I think I might leave a little bit of a border. Do a little bit of a border around them just so they stand out. And because I've got yellow and blue in the background, we'll go with some contrasting type colours. So maybe we'll go with pink and, well, hold on now, what's opposite to blue is, oh yeah, pink, red, yeah, red and purple, red and purple. That might be quite nice, wouldn't it? Red and purple, that's a bit of a contrast, isn't it? So let's, ooh. The big good thing about leaving a border around these is you're not going to chop their legs off. They've got quite skinny, sketchy legs because they, I think they're called textured birds, but they have got a very sort of sketchy look. They're very, very easy to cut out, as you can see, but they have got very, very skinny legs. Oh, there you go. So it's in purple. Brilliant. It's red and purple. We'll go with the reds and the purples for the birdies. What I might do is if I focus on one side of the page to just get as much as possible done on, and then it doesn't matter if the other page doesn't get finished. Let's go in and out of these. I was going to say claws. They're not claws. Are they claws? No, feet. These little birds wouldn't have talons, would they? That would be an eagle or something. I can't think what birds have talons. There we go. See, I didn't prep anything before because I wasn't sure what I was going to exactly use. Because I was looking at flowers and I thought, oh, I do a lot of flowers. Let's do something a bit different with the birds. All right, let's have a couple of these. Let's put that out the way. And let's get a piece of paper to put underneath this. Claws, unless he's big bird. Right, let's find my water again. Right, there's my water. Let's pop that in there. There lots of popping going on. Oh, when I look at that screen on there, that one's going blurry, but I don't know if that's... Oh, it's back again to normal. I think it's when I move things, isn't it? So let's go with this. Oh, this is the brush that falls apart. It does annoy me. Right. So let's go so reds and purples. We've literally got sort of all the way across this section. So let's go with a bit of, let's just imagine it is going to be like a robin. So let's give it a bit of colour. Start by putting some colour down. So you can do it this way round, where you're putting your colour straight down and then blend it out. That blends out really nicely. This is a watercolour card, so I mean this isn't gessoed, but I should imagine that because they are water reactive, anything that's like a watercolour card is going to work a lot better, because your colours are made, you know, the paper's made to sort of blend your colours out more. But if you get to a point where you don't want to go in so much. Now I noticed that these Neocolors, they have this like white, I'm sure it's probably got a, so I don't know if it's like wax on the outside, but it means that when you first start with it, you do have to sort of get through that white bit to get to the colour. But you can then sort of get your colour directly from the crayon itself, if you want to go into sort of like smaller areas, which is something, I mean, you can do it with the others as well. Definitely, I mean, the Scribble Sticks, I do that quite a lot with them. Like lift the colour directly from the stick, especially as a lot of these products, once you start using them, you know, they blunt down, and I'm sure there are probably proper things that you can use to sharpen them. But I end up finding it easier just to sort of like lift the colour directly. So let's pop that one there, because that's now wet, so that's going to drip off of there. Try that in there. Let's give it a bit oh, what's this lovely colour? They have got names written on them. Periwinkle blue. It's got it in all different languages. So it's got periwinkle blue, so, but it's not blue, it's purple in my head. So let's just, right, I'm going to not put as much down this time, because I noticed, I think I'm too heavy handed with all these products, and I put way too much pigment down than is needed. So I think the idea might be, also I do have too much water on my brush quite a lot of the time, so a bit of less is more really, I think, with some of these. Now they're quite opaque, these, I notice. Like they are really quite going, even though they're like water reactive, they are sort of covering up those lines a bit. So that is something to be aware of if you were like this, where you're wanting the pattern to come through, is to not make it too sort of pigmented, to make sure you water it out quite a lot, because there, where it is a lot thicker, it's a lot harder to see. Yeah, it went blurred on mine. It's gone back to normal on mine now, but I have to say, I think I'm getting more blurring than I do on the other ones. They're very cute little birds as well, aren't they, these ones? I do love these little birdies. The colours, I have to say, I am very impressed with these crayons. I do like them a lot. I think I will be using them a lot in my colouring, as a colouring medium. Right, let's do, for that bit of tail there, I'm going to give him a little bit of an orange, oh no, a yellow. Let's go yellow. Now, because that beak area is very small, and we'll give him a bit of yellow around. Oh, actually, I can't really do his legs, can I? So, like I say, you have to sort of get past that white coating. Ooh, that's a nice yellow. Give him a bit there. I'll put yellow on the top. I'm just wondering what would happen. Whether it, I probably would have to blend them at the same time, wouldn't I? Let's go with, what's this? Oh, this one. This looks different. This still looks a bit like Seedless Preserves, like, doesn't it? Oh, I can't read that name off there. No way, not in a million years is that being read. I cannot see it. So I could go, let's get that started on there again. Now I'm going to presume as you work your way down the crayon, you would just like, I'm guessing like when I was teaching, the children used to drive me mad because they would like always love just sitting there peeling off the paper on the wax crayons. So yeah, oh yeah, that's more like a yeah, seedless preserve. That's more wilted violets, and that's seedless preserves type purple. That is a bit watery though, so let's get a bit with the less water and do that. So that's one little birdie. Let's do it sort of like the other way around on here. Let's give him. See the difference between when it's got the water on it and when it's just directly the crayon. It's very interesting. Right, let's not have too much water again. Now I can imagine that if, I think this happened actually on the one that I did the video with, is that if you haven't got any gesso down and it's a bit less of a watercolor type paper, you can get lines of sort of from where you, if you lay the color down and then blend out, and that's when sometimes it's easier to take it with your brush if you don't want to sort of get that liney, you know, where, you know what I mean, when it shows where you started off. So, and it does blend out really nicely though. A purple breasted robin type creature. Right, what have we got left? What have we got over here? What's this one? This one is carmine. Let's go on here with a bit of, I'm going to imagine a carmine is like it's a darker red, isn't it? It's more like a, dare I say it, like a red wine type red. Oh no, it's more like a fuchsia. That fooled me. More like a fuchsia pink, this one. Although I do like that. I do like that colour. That's something to... So this is why, and I never do it, and I know lots of people do, and I never do, swatches. Because then you don't get surprised. But then, see, I quite like getting surprised by my colours. The jeopardy, the colour jeopardy. What's this one called? Purple. I don't know if I want purple on there. I'm wondering a bit of yellow to contrast. Let's do his beak in the same colour as the other one. I think it's just windy outside, blowing the trees. I was hoping it's not raining because the washing has been left out there. We've got this lovely pale pink actually, which is rose. Maybe have a little go with some rose just to see. This is sort of swatching, isn't it though? Like swatching as you actually do something. Let's take a bit of that water off. I think that the top tip is don't have too much water on your brush and don't put as much colour down as you think to start with. Maybe put a bit less. They are very highly pigmented, these crayons. And I think we'll go, let's go straight from the crayon. Too much water. I can imagine these are going to last a very, very long time. Oh, big cute little birdies. Oops. Right, now I don't know whether I should leave them to dry before I put them back in the tin or not. I think I will. I think I'll put them over there and just let them dry a bit before I put them back in there. Because I don't want them to get... I'm just concerned that where they they get soft from the water. I wouldn't want them to get damaged. Let's pop that over there. Let's take these two off of here. Oh, that fell on the floor. And just have a little look. So, whoa, sorry. I did just hit my journal right into the phone. So I'm just thinking of just having a little couple of them down here. This is by no means a finished journal page, I have to say. I would add a lot more stamping and things onto this. Let's push that up a little bit. But I could maybe do a little bit. So we're going to ignore this page. That page doesn't exist in my head now. I'm wondering whether to add a little bit. I've got the grungy borders, a little bit of like stitchiness in black now, just to sort of blend the black, because I've got the black of the I'm thinking I might not need this on a block, because I've got the black of the stamping for the birds, to do a little bit of stamping, particularly in this corner. I'm thinking that they need something to sort of ground them a bit. So actually, let's just do some, yeah, like that. And often these sorts of stamps are really useful for this kind of thing. Let's do a bit there. Let's take that one off. And we've got sort of, this one's like a torn notebook. I should use a longer block, shouldn't I really? Yeah, so this one's like a torn notebook. I could have gone for another colour of archival. I'm using archival because I know it goes over just about everything, and it's a permanent ink pad. So let's put that there. Let's just do it second generation, see what happens. Oh, still got a bit of ink left there. Quite liking that one. I wonder if that will go over the stenciling just about. And I think one more. So I've got this one that's got the really thin line. Again, it's like a bit of a stitchy line. So this set's sort of got a mixture of like notebook edges and also stitches. I'm thinking I want that bit there. Not a bit going over like that. There. Just sort of making a little cluster of stamping down the bottom here, just to a bit more there, to give them something to sort of stand on really. Although now that needs something going that way, so let's add in a bit more. Let's have a different notebook edge. Let's have this one. Don't do that. I am really bad at just stamping on top of my work. It's not good, is it really? Let's have this bit coming off the bottom here. See, I want it to, if I go up like that, I sort of know I want it to have a perch, but I don't want it to look like it's in the middle of nowhere. So I'm wondering whether I should carry that one on actually. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to carry that one on, extend that so that it makes a bit of a perch for the bird. No, it's that way up, isn't it? So it's not right. This is the only trouble when it's not clear stamps. Let's guess it's about there. It doesn't matter because it's going to have things over the top. There, sort of ish. So then that makes a little bit of a perch for that one, and that's got a perch there as well. So let's see. I need really, I think I'm going to just add in a couple of the circles in black as well, just up here, just to echo what's going on the rest of the page then. Let's have that one there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have one more, that will be 5. So that's a nice odd number. I don't think there's no law about it being odd numbers, but it just always seems to, it just is more pleasing to the eye. Oh, that's very, but now I'm thinking, see, a sentiment could come out from that. It's sort of giving it a point to come from. Now, one of my favourite things is to add some black thread underneath, and I think they need to be lifted a bit from the page, and the thread will match in with the I need that, with the thread sort of stamps. So let's get some black thread. Is everything near me? My top tip would be have lots of things near you when you're crafting. Surround yourself with your stuff. Makes it a lot easier. Let's move that. Right, so here's my black thread. Nothing special, just literally probably, I think I bought some at a boot fair once. There's a lady selling all different sort of subbing things, and I just grabbed different, well, let's say different black and white, just generally black and white. And just by, I know lots of crafters do this, but it does make, it's just breaking up your foreground from your background a little bit. So that can go with that one. And what I tend to do is I used to put glue under where the thread was, and try and stick my thread down first. And after a while I thought, why am I doing that? Because then when I stick the bird on the whatever I'm sticking on the top, the glue from that is going through the thread and onto the page anyway. So now I don't really bother sort of trying to stick that bit down. I just sort of stick the main element down. I'm using Pinflair glue gel. This must be the thing I get asked most on my videos, is what glue I'm using in the syringe. It is generally Pinflair. The reason I use Pinflair is because the normal silicone glue, I can't tolerate the smell. So this, although this is not totally odorless, it is a lot more odorless than silicone glue. So let's have one there. So they're having a little chat, tweeting. Maybe they're on Twitter. Let's pop you there. And the last thing I would do, because I'm not going to worry about that page. Sometimes I do this actually with my double page spreads, is I just focus on one area and leave the rest, although it's coloured, so it's sort of got something going on. I'm going to grab, I'm going to grab this one because it's the one that's here. This is from my own stamp. I'm going to have Make Your Dreams Come True. Now, ideally, I would probably go for stamping white onto black. Actually, I would really probably have liked a bigger sentiment than that. I'm just trying to think if I've got a bigger one here. I think it needs a bigger one. I haven't. No, let's just go with this one because it's here now, isn't it? So let's go. And with a bit of card. No, not that bit. There we go. I'm not going to stamp it like that, to be fair, because it's a sentiment. When I'm stamping my sentiments, I do like to try to keep them a little bit sort of decently stamped. Let's go there. Oh, I didn't stamp that very well at all. So let's re-stamp that and put more ink on the block than I've got on anything else. That's better. A bit of dirty finger marks going on, but to be fair, it's quite a grungy page anyway. Let's get the big scissors. and just do not worrying about it being totally straight. If we get a bit of ink around the edge just to make that stand out a bit more. I'm thinking now I don't really want that. I think I might want it more down here, so it's, ooh. If I do that, I may have to just do one more black piece of stamping up there. I think that needs to be down the bottom. I think that looks silly sort of at the top there. So let's pop that there. I think. Put that there. And let's have one more. I think maybe we're going to need two more, aren't we, to be then 7. So we might, let's pop that back on there. And this is how I do my, journal pages. So let's go here, I think. One there. And it's gone over the stenciling, but that's fine because that's what we sort of want. And then I'm thinking it needs something. Let's overlap here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bit there and a bit there. There we go. So more circles, lots more circles. Have to have lots of circles. I think that's enough circles. So there we go. I think that page, I would say, possibly finished. You can actually with the Neocolors as well. You can, if you get your brush. I'll show you. Oh, not that one. Let's get a bigger one. You can sort of. It says now it won't do it. I was doing it the other day when I did it. Probably got the wrong. You can sort of splat from it somehow. It's not doing it at the moment, but you can splat from them. But I think I'll leave it at that one. So as usual, I went a bit over the top with my circles in my stamping, but we've got our 2 little bit, but 1, 2, 3 main focal points and then our circles, but using Gelatos, Scribble Sticks for a bit of stamping, our Neocolors. We didn't really use the distress crayons too much, but just like getting out those water soluble products, and basically they're really good for creating massive backgrounds to start off, to getting the colour down, but really good also for colouring in your elements. So I hope you enjoyed that. If there is things that you would be interested in, obviously as long as I've got the stuff to do it, and you know I can, please do pop them in the comments, not in the live chat, because I don't think I can see the live chat afterwards. I have to check. But thank you for watching my first ever YouTube live, and so I will be able to use lots of different products for these ones, which will be fun. I'm thinking probably once every couple of weeks, and it will always, I think, be a Friday at 8 would be when it's best, because there doesn't seem to be as much goes on other platforms at that time. So thank you very much for joining me. I have no clue how I now turn this one off, so I will have a look and see. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I'll see you soon. Bye. I think I'm going to have to actually take my phone out. I can't see what I do. There we, oh look, I can go close in. Ooh. Right, thanks a lot. Bye.